Friends, I have a challenge for you. We have a new year coming up starting midnight tonight. It will be 2018. So I want to give you a challenge for 2018. And it comes from Proverbs 23:23, which says, "Buy the truth and do not sell it. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding." Let Scripture be the sole authority in your life, not what someone else says about Scripture, not what someone else says Scripture means, but Scripture itself. One of the things that I remember from when I took a precept Bible study, well, actually I took more than one many years ago, was something that was stressed, and that is to let Scripture interpret Scripture. And I could not agree with that more. That is exactly what we need to do. Now, most of us probably think that's what we're doing when we read the Bible. We think that we are believing what it says. But if we're honest with ourselves, we don't always take the time to really think it out and to really search it out. What is the Bible saying here? So many of us are so busy that we will listen to a sermon or we'll listen to a teaching and we'll just take the preacher's word for it or the teacher's word for it. Even though they will tell us, many times they will tell us, don't take my word for it, but search the Scriptures for yourself. And they should tell us to do that. And we should do that. We should take the time and be a Berean. Bereans took the time to examine the Scriptures to see if what they were being told was true. And you can read about them in the book of Acts. Now, Paul told us in the first chapter of Romans that people are without excuse when it comes to believing in God, because all of creation reveals that there is a God. Well, I want to say that today, you and I, that we are without excuse when it comes to finding out what the Bible is saying. And that's because we have the whole World Wide Web at our fingertips. We have a plethora of resources that we can turn to. We have resources that will help us to know what the Hebrew word is. In the Old Testament, it was written in Hebrew. So we can go and we can find out what the Hebrew word is and what it means. We can go to these resources and also look up the Greek word. The New Testament, most people believe, was written in Greek. And so we can go and find out what is the Greek word here. And we can find out what it means. We have so many resources that can explain to us the culture of the time, the historical background of each book of the Bible. Yes, it takes time, but we need to know these things. They are so important. Did you know that much of church history can be very eye-opening? Now, I know you might think that church history would be boring, but one of the most eye-opening things for me was when I started reading the writings of our early church fathers. And I do this in parentheses because when I started reading what some of them were saying, now not all of them, were bad. A lot of what they had to say was good, but there were some that were so anti-Semitic, it is disheartening, and it was just heart-sickening for me to read some of the things that they had to say. They outright denounced the Sabbath because it was too Jewish. They outright denounced the feast of Yahweh because they were too Jewish. But when you read the Bible for yourself, you find out that these are things that Yahweh himself established for all of his people. So it's important to find out church history so that we can see where some of the things that we believe today came from and why. And so I want to challenge you to ask yourself why you believe some of the things that you believe. And I want you to examine those beliefs against the Bible. What does the Bible say about what you believe? Again, it takes time, but it is so important that we are living our lives, our spiritual lives, based on truth. So, how do you go about finding out what truth is? Well, a very simple thing to do is to go to one of the resources, and I recommend blueletterbible.org or biblehub.org, and just put in the word truth. Blue Letter Bible is better in my opinion because it brings up in chronological order or in order of the Bible everywhere that word truth is found. And so you can go and you can read all of the verses that contain the word truth. But another way, and I really, really want to encourage you to do this, is just to start reading in the book of Genesis from the beginning. And whenever you see the word truth, mark it and make note of it. Keep notes and go through all of the books of the Bible looking for the word truth. And where is it? Who lived it? How did they live it? Who defined it? When was it challenged? Ask yourself the 5 W's and an H, the who, what, when, where, why, how. Again, Precept taught me that, to take time to ask that. Okay, so look for those things and research church history. And I'm going to put in the comments below some links for you that will help you in researching these things. But ultimately, what I want to challenge you comes from the word itself. And I want to share these verses with you that are speaking about truth. And maybe these verses can jumpstart you on your search for truth in 2018. Okay? Deuteronomy 32:4. He is the rock. His work is perfect. For all his ways are judgment. A God of truth without iniquity. Just and right is he. Joshua 24:14. And now, fear Yahweh, serve him in perfection and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served beyond the river in Egypt, and serve Yahweh. Psalm 25:5. Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. On you I wait all the day. Psalm 43:3. O send out your light and your truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me to your set-apart mountain and to your dwelling places. Psalm 119:142. Your righteousness is righteousness forever, and your Torah is truth. John 8:32. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. 1 John 2:4. The one who says, I know him, speaking about Yeshua, and does not guard his commands is a liar, and the truth is not in him. And again, Proverbs 23:23. Buy the truth and do not sell it. And also wisdom and instruction and understanding. So seek truth in 2018. Let it change your life. You won't regret it. Shalom.